Hello learners in 7th grade. Welcome to week 7 of ELA 7. This week's learning target is I can complete my final products for cultural narratives, use conventions of English, and make my story interesting for my readers. But how are you going to do that? Well, I have it all laid out in this plan. The purpose of you reading the story Flying Lessons is to find some interesting stories. There are 10 very interesting stories in the book that you have been reading. And if you've been paying attention, you'll notice that they are using really great conventions of English, and they're also using personal narratives that really keep the reader interested in what they're saying. So how can you do this in your own writing and not be a boring writer? I've included in here a video of what you can do to write better personal narratives. Something that will keep the audience interesting. I also have included the power of commas, an article for you to read about how to keep the punctuation in your writing so that you're not making your readers lose focus. Okay, there's a lot of reading in here to help you about using commas, making introductions, fanboys, question marks, and quotations. These are things that you are going to be scored upon, the conventions of English. So take a look. I'm also including in this lesson plan what not to do when you're writing. I've written 2 personal narratives because the draft says you're writing 2, not just 1. In this Google Doc, if you open this up, you're going to see some common mistakes. The first one is, where is the student's writing? They didn't even put their name on it. And it's all in highlights. Where does it start and where do the directions end? You're going to see in here a lot of mistakes. Things that I see all the time that really shows the teacher, the student must not be really very smart because they're not using conventions of English that they learned in elementary school. I see little I's. Oh, that's one that makes teachers cringe. I see misspellings that they didn't even correct. Yes, I see a lot of things wrong with this. And plus, is this even an interesting story? Would you want to read this short story? How about this one? Well, at least they put a title but still forgot their name, and they didn't follow the directions that say, erase this text after putting your story in. So we start again. There's the directions, and here they're writing right in the directions. It's hard to find where the story starts and the directions end. And you'll see there are no punctuations. There are run-on sentences running on forever, misspellings all over the place, no periods, no dialogue. This is really, really terrible. I'm afraid that this would not even score a 1 on the rubric. In this lesson, I also have included a quizzes. I just adore quizzes because it's fun to learn by playing games. There's a game here for you to play to brush up on those conventions and know about punctuation and capitalization and commas and quotation marks and exclamation points that make your story exciting. Please remember that this is due October 18th. You have a couple more weeks to work on it, but in those couple weeks, I hope you're making a fantastic presentation because you need to, at the very end, record yourself as I am recording myself right now. I use Screencast-O-Matic. Some people can use Loom. That's a great one. Or they could use their cell phone. I've seen that done many times, and it does work to use your cell phone and record yourself reading your personal narrative and making it exciting. And one way to make it really exciting is to use Google Slides. And I want to see some pizzazz. Dialogue, which means characters that talk to each other. If it's one person talking, that's not dialogue. Dialogue is two. Monologue, if you only have one person, that's monologue. That's one person talking. And use that sensory language. That's what makes you see the story, because you shouldn't just be telling a story. You should be showing a story to the reader. And to do that, you use what you use your 5 senses for. What do you see? What do you hear? Do you smell anything? Did you eat something? Did it taste good? Did you touch something that's really nice and soft? Those are the kinds of things that keep the reader hooked and interested in your story. So guys, make a really, really great story with lots of pizzazz in your presentation, and you will score really well on Cultural Narratives before it is due on October 18th.